The night was bitterly cold, and the wind howled through the empty streets as Dr. Emily Carter stepped onto her porch, exhausted from her shift at the clinic. She fumbled for her keys when a low whimper made her pause. At the bottom of the steps, a stray dog stood, its fur matted and dirty, eyes wide with urgency. Between its teeth, it clutched something wrapped in a tattered cloth, soaked and darkened with moisture. The dog whined again and carefully placed the bundle at her feet before stepping back, its tail wagging anxiously. Emily hesitated. Her instincts screamed that something was off. Slowly she knelt and peeled back the cloth. Her breath hitched. Inside lay a small, limp creature. A newborn. But this wasn't just any newborn. It was something she had never seen before. Her hands trembled as she picked up the tiny being. It was covered in fine, silvery fur, its body unnaturally cold, and its small chest barely moving. Was it even alive? The dog whimpered again, nudging her hand insistently, as if pleading with her to act fast. Adrenaline kicked in. Without a second thought, Emily rushed inside, the dog following closely behind. She placed the mysterious creature on her examination table, grabbing her stethoscope. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears as she listened. There, a faint, irregular rhythm. It was alive. But what was it? She switched on the examination light, scanning its fragile body. Its limbs were too long for a normal animal, its tiny claws retractable like a cat's. But its face held an eerie intelligence. She had seen thousands of newborns in her career, but nothing like this. The dog barked suddenly, pacing restlessly. It kept glancing toward the door, then back at her, as if urging her to follow. Something about the way it acted sent a chill down her spine. Was there more out there? Had it brought her this creature as a warning? She grabbed her coat, wrapped the newborn in a soft towel, and followed the dog into the night. The streets were silent, empty, except for the steady patter of the dog's paws leading her toward the outskirts of town. Soon they arrived at a crumbling, abandoned barn. A strange hum vibrated through the air. Emily's breath caught as she stepped inside. Scattered across the hay-covered floor were more creatures, identical to the one she held. Some were still, others barely moving. Then she saw them, shadows shifting in the darkness, unnatural, towering figures with glowing eyes. Her pulse skyrocketed. Not human. A deep, guttural sound rumbled through the barn as one of the figures moved closer. The stray dog snarled, stepping between Emily and the approaching form. She gripped the bundle in her arms tighter. The figure stopped. Then, with slow, deliberate movements, it crouched near the lifeless creatures on the ground. It reached out with elongated fingers and gently touched one. A strange, pulsing light flickered over its form, and suddenly, the once limp creature stirred. Emily gasped. They weren't dead. They were being revived. The figure turned its glowing gaze toward her, then to the dog. Understanding passed between them. The dog had been helping them. Emily looked down at the newborn in her arms. It was warming up, the faint rise and fall of its chest steadying. The stray had led her here not just to save one, but to save all of them. Heart pounding, she stepped forward and gently placed the newborn among its kind. The figure let out a soft, resonant sound, almost like gratitude. The dog wagged its tail once, then turned, trotting back toward her. Emily exhaled, her breath visible in the cold night air. She didn't understand what she had just witnessed. But she knew one thing: somehow this stray dog had just saved an entire species. And maybe, just maybe, it had saved her too.
Imagine the countless untold tales of bravery and loyalty between humans and animals. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling and heartfelt stories that remind us of the extraordinary power of trust and courage.